that they would put out a Blu-ray, clean it up a bit, get the MTV Unleashed special on there, get a double CD on there, get the bonus videos on there, and put a nice package together. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen, especially in the Sammy era. They won't do anything with the Sammy era.
No, and it's a shame because it does need to be cleaned up.
No, totally. I can't stress enough what a big surprise this was. Van Halen doesn't release anything extra. They're never ones to do it. This is a really huge ordeal and a big step for them to release this. So this was a big deal. It was just a phenomenal show. However, the weird thing is, if you count the songs, there's only 11 songs. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then solos, of course. But they played a total of 17. That's crazy. It was directed by Daniel Kleinman. And like I said, it is filmed in New Haven, Connecticut. Interesting thing is, they stole the title from Angel. The band Angel had a live album called Live Without a Net in 1980, and they just lifted the title from there.
Interesting. No. Wasn't that the band that almost released You Really Got Me before they did?
Oh, I'm not sure. Is that the one who almost did You Really Got Me?
Right. Was that the band that when Eddie played them the demo and they were like, oh, and then they were going to do a cover of You Really Got Me, and then the record company heard that they got a cover of You Really Got Me, and they released it before Angel did. Right. Wasn't it that same band?
Was it Angel or was it Girl?
No, it wasn't Girl.
It wasn't Girl? Okay.
No, wasn't that Phil Collins' band?
Yeah, that's Phil Collins' band.
No. It was not. It wasn't that band. I think it was Angel.
Yeah, I think you're right. So to start, it starts off, it's a little cheesy. You got this hand coming out, stamping the title, the name Van Halen Live Without a Net, filmed live in New Haven, and he crosses out Haven and writes Halen. They forget to put Connecticut in there, which I thought was kind of weird. And
you know what the funny part is? If you watch the end credits, they misspell Connecticut.
Oh, my God. I didn't even catch that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Dave lives in Connecticut, so he would know. So now, so Sammy comes out and he says, hello, New Haven. Hello, New Haven. And then, unfortunately, it cuts right into the show because they cut the first song, which is You Really Got Me. They literally lop it off. And they show There's Only One Way to Rock. But it's so obvious the way they start it, you almost feel like you're catching it mid-concert. Because there's no sort of, like, show opening. It's almost like a fast-forward or something. Don't you find that a little strange, Dave?
There was, like, some clever editing where Sammy comes out, does an intro, and then they go right into the song.
Right, and then it's like all of a sudden it's like... Right, and it's like, wait a second. Yes. There's got to be... Because when Sammy comes out, you sort of hear the band, like, rustling up, like they're ready to launch. But you could kind of tell that they're not about to play There's Only One Way to Rock. They had another song, so you could just tell they're going to go... Right, yeah. I was like... Yeah. I don't know the reasonings behind this, but they completely lop that off. And that's not the first part that they do this at. They do this in several other places. So... they cut that out, and there's Only One Way to Rock, which was totally crazy. They open up with that. Now, that is an unbelievable version of There's Only One Way to Rock. It really is. I have to say, it is smoking. Ed and Sam, you show them high kicking. One thing they show with this video, these guys are amped. Holy cow, the amount of energy that they exude on this performance is tremendous. It's almost unbelievable considering the level of music that is coming out of them. I mean, this is just crazy. And what's also wild is it is very clearly the 80s because these guys are dressed in day-glow clothing. Woo! Eddie's wearing bright pink. Mike is wearing banana yellow. Sammy, of course, is in red. And oh my God, these guys are like popping. It looks like a cartoon. They're so colorful, right?
Oh yeah, and it's got like they're almost parachute pants.
Yep.
That he's wearing with his tank top.
Right, with his wife beater. Everybody's got bandanas all over the place.
There's no mistaking what decade this was made.
Eddie and Mike are wearing mullets. I mean, it's crazy. So it's definitely, a whole big deal. Sammy is playing guitar with a head mic. The band is on fire. You have to say, they kill this song so good, and the sound and the mix is really clear. And one thing that's also interesting about this whole home video is the lighting is very unique. It's very sort of bright and almost looks like a movie quality, film-like quality. Everybody looks like they are almost glowing a little bit, and Ed is really working that Frankenstrat. Holy cow. Him and Sam are going back and forth trading licks. They just blend together. The energy is through the roof. These guys are young, and they are just kicking it really hard. And you could just tell that this is the honeymoon of Van Hagar. These guys are so in love with each other. Sammy's like their new bud, and they're just hugging and slapping hands all over the place. The endorphins are running high. Sam is playing his ass off. But this is very powerful. Alex is going nuts. It's really wild. What do you make of the whole vibe of this, Dave?
The vibe is definitely high energy.
Yeah.
And that's throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
These guys are running all over the place, all over the stage. Like you say, they're high-fiving each other. They're jumping. They're leaping. It's crazy. And they're playing, not missing a beat.
Right.
The sound is good. It's not great.
Really?
It's good in that it's good for the video that it was.
Right.
But it's typical of an 80s video. And so sometimes, like in my ears, the sound sometimes gets muddied because of that. If they had released it on CD or something like that, I think it could have been phenomenal because Don Landy produced and engineered the sound for the special.
Absolutely.
So my expectations were high for that. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad by any means. I mean, I think it's good. Ed's guitar comes through nice and clear, and Sam's vocals come through nice and clear. So no complaints from my end at all. But it's not going to win any awards in terms of crystal clear engineering because of the era it came from.
Right, yeah. Well, you have to consider it's mid-'80s. But I thought, to be honest with you, from other live things, I thought the sound was pretty good because I've seen some other stuff, brand new, fresh stuff coming out officially from the record company that sounded like crap. So this was pretty good. Okay. So One Way to Rock, Sammy announces that they renamed the town New Halenland. I thought that was kind of cute that he did this.
We have renamed this town. This is now New Halenland. New Halenland!
And then he started announcing when everybody screams 5150, you have to go nuts because 5150 is a police code for somebody that's crazy, flipped out.
Every time somebody up here yells 5150, is all you gotta do is go nuts, because 5150 is a police code for somebody that's crazy, flipped out. We got 12,000 5150s here tonight! Woo! Ow! 5150!
But actually, 5150 is a police code for a criminally insane, like, escape person, right? I mean, that's really what it was.
It was in the California area.
Yeah. Absolutely. So then he screams 5150, and the crowd goes nuts. He uses it to amp everybody on. So then they go into Summer Nights, and Ed breaks out the Steinberger, right?
Right.
And
he plays that a lot.
He really does. He really does. He plays it later, too. They have all these funny things where you see Mike on the side sticking picks on his head and doing the part of Summer Nights, and Ed looks so happy. He's blowing smoke rings, and Mike it looks like a hairy beast. Oh my God. He's like he's got massive amounts of hair, and on his beard, and his mullet is out of control. Alex has some really cool shots here, and you see Alex standing up doing the tambourine part of Summer Nights, and the stage, I love the 5150 tour stage. It's very open and wide, and you can see everything very clearly. There's all kinds of levels, and the guys go all over the place. Ed does a crazy hot solo on Summer Nights.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Oh, my God. I mean, he was playing out of his mind. And
that solo is amazing.
Oh,
I mean, I think that performance tops the studio performance.
Oh, totally. Yeah. There's a couple of these live versions that really do that, too. Especially, we'll get to Love Walks In. That one is ridiculous. Sammy, does all these funny things with Ed. There's so much interaction with Sam and Ed because you never really saw that with Dave and Ed. They really sort of did their own things. They come together to do that line dance real quick where they jump off the drum riser and edge to the edge of the stage. But you never really saw the camaraderie between Ed and Dave. But Sam and Ed were all over the place, and they are just joking around. And the background vocals on this live show is through the roof. Mike sounds better than ever. What did you make of Summer Nights, Dave? Is that a favorite of yours in this listing?
Oh, it's definitely, it's totally a highlight of the show.
Yeah,
like you say, the solo is out of this world.
Yeah.
And it's, a solid, and it's the second song, and they're already rock solid.
Right.
Easing into it, because One Way to Rock was always a killer live song.
Right.
Especially with Sam on guitar. Sam played a lot of guitar on this tour.
Right.
And I thought that was also a plus, because he never got in the way of Ed. But when he played, it always added to it. So I thought that was a nice mix that they really didn't capitalize on in future tours, unfortunately.
Right.
But yeah, you're already on the second song. You got the 1-2 punch.
Right.
And as you pointed out, there's not that many songs on this show, but the show still lasts over an hour and a half long.
Oh yeah. Because they took all these damn solos, and we'll get to it like Best of Both Worlds.
Right,
is
but
like,
the songs are also longer, too.
Yeah, they were long.
I mean, when they were playing with Dave, they were like 3 and change.
Right.
And now you're going at least 4 and change with these songs.
Oh, you
usually
kidding me?
Longer, so you've got them jamming it out and things like that.
Absolutely, and for Christ's sake, Best of Both Worlds is over 10 minutes. It's crazy, but we'll get to that. The next one is Get Up, and I thought this was a real sweet spot in the show from Summer Nights into Get Up. This was phenomenal. Ed stays on the Steinberger guitar. I love when he goes up and plays on Al's drum riser. Sam's breaking out his I Can't Drive 55 t-shirt. It's interesting, but Sammy Hagar's energy is boundless. Al's wearing his signature white headband. You hear Mike screaming, "Make it work," when he goes that high note, that little Mikey thing, and he goes, "Make it work." He goes all the way up there, which is really